What's up, everybody, and welcome into another Big Man on Campus, a live stream. We hope you had a great Saturday. It is Sunday. It's Labor Day weekend. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Feels a bit normal, doesn't it? A lot different from last year's Labor Day, but Labor Day always a sign of the end of summer, and college football heated up, and we got going this yesterday. Saw some interesting things, and I really want to kind of talk about that. Before we get into today's breakdowns, we're going to just take a look at tonight's game and then Monday's as well. And obviously on Monday, if you've been following me, I'm already on that game. I bet it, weeks ago. But we'll get into all that and more. Hopefully you had a good night and you made some money yesterday. I made money yesterday. In fact, I've had a good week. I'm very happy with what I've been able to do. 6-1 on the week for me. I'm very happy with what went on. Obviously, yesterday, 2-1, it's profit. You'll take it. Anytime you can have profit in this business, that's a goal. Obviously there was a lot of I went over every game. I gave a lean on a lot of these ones, but the ones that I played, bigger than everything else was really the goal. And Kansas State, coming right out of the gate, that was the big one. I had really liked that one. I bet that like 2 weeks ago. And they did exactly what I thought they would. Stanford just isn't very good. The quarterback play is dreadful. That game was really all about experience. You have an experienced group on one side against a team that is large. And look, you look at really throughout week one, just a couple of games that experience was the difference. You look at a game like Kansas State yesterday. Experience was gigantic. You look at a game like Virginia Tech against North Carolina. You've got a lot of new players from North Carolina. They're having to replace a lot. Virginia Tech comes in. They had to replace some people too, but being at home, obviously having some experience was definitely big in that situation. But Kansas State was very clinical yesterday, and they're a team. I'm going to keep saying. It's all about culture. It's all about coaching in college football. They have a great culture in Manhattan. Chris Kleiman just gets the most out of his players. He's got a really good quarterback in Skylar Thompson. And, that offense, legit. Malik Knowles, Deuce Vaughn, and Matter Bebe, that's a good offense at Kansas State. So keep an eye on the Wildcats as we keep heading in as the season gets going. Also, I had a winner with Purdue. Wasn't easy, but we were able to get a cover. And, it was interesting because I had the game on my phone. I was out doing some things, and I see that they just – anytime they would go up 8 or 9, they couldn't get a stop, right? I think they went up 8 or 9 twice and then allowed Oregon State to go down and score. Keep in mind, Purdue went down 7-0 right out of the gate. It wasn't easy. But so they go up 23 – 12, I think, or something. And then they give up a touchdown. It's a 2-point lead. There's 4 minutes to go. And I'm thinking, I need a miracle. I need a break-off run. I need a big throw. And what do we get? A 50-yard touchdown for Purdue to go up 9, and they don't ever look back, 30-21. It's a winner. How about that? We'll take it. And my worry was they're up 9. They're just going to play prevent. Whether they score or not doesn't matter, but nice job by Purdue. They got a stop when it mattered most and got out of there with a cover. Look, Georgia Tech, that was a terrible – they just never got off the bus. They lost the game. Keep in mind, Northern Illinois cashes at 7-1 on the money line as 18-point dogs? I don't know what that was from Georgia Tech, but a dreadful performance nonetheless. Either way, it is what it is. 2-1 on the day. I'll take it. A good weekend. Couple of people tuning in. Thanks for checking in. Obviously, Sunday, you don't have as many games, so there are not going to be as many people here. But we do have a couple games tonight or this weekend to go here, and we will get after it. I do want to talk about some other things that we saw yesterday. Obviously, right out of the gate, you look at big favorites yesterday. Okay, 35-point favorites or higher, 5-3 against the spread yesterday. Keep in mind, one of them in Toledo I think were 39-point favorites. They won by 38. So I think another one was 42. They won by 42 and a half. They won by 42. So all these big favorites, for the most part, won going away. We look at the fact that, teams like SMU absolutely rolled. We look at teams like Liberty absolutely rolled. We look at those teams that were kind of right on the fringes, high 30s, mid 30s. Laying points yesterday was an easy winner. It was an easy winner yesterday. You made profit if you did it. Look, if you're not laying points in these early games and getting involved, I don't really know what to say. Caden Rutherford says TCU is an easy winner. They didn't cover. I guess it really depends where you bet it. It closed 42. They won 45-3. So it was definitely a doubt. You may have bet it at a better price. Look, here's the thing. You have to be quick to the draw. Okay. My advice to you, you need to look at schedules a week in advance and say, okay, these are going to be the added games. I did it with Western Kentucky. These are going to be the added games. I need to get on these as soon as they come out. Because look, if you're waiting to fucking close to bet on some of these teams, you are fucking nuts. You are going to lose. You're going to get crushed because the line moves are going to move 9, 10 points. You're going to get destroyed. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Okay, so my advice is getting on these, literally knowing when they're going to come out and getting involved right away. Okay, so you bet some of these games, you're going to lose 5, 6, 8, 10 points. And you're going to – look, if you bet TCU at close, you didn't win. Probably Caden Rutherford bet it when it was a lot better number. Case in point, if you don't do fucking research in this shit, you are going to lose. It's fucking very simple. And that's why we're doing things like Patreon. Because I'm trying to get you ahead of all this shit. I'm trying to teach you what I'm doing. This is a look into what I do, how I look at games, what other people that I trust do, and giving you information that actually fucking matters. Do you know how many people I saw yesterday with bullshit? Shit that doesn't matter. Teams over the last 7 years, that fucking stuff doesn't matter. It's pointless. It means absolutely nothing. How many people yesterday did I see on Twitter referencing last year? You know the only thing that matters last year? Production coming back. That's all that matters. What a team did last year means ugats to what's going on this year. Look, I couldn't care if a team lost every game last year. Okay, because I know if I look back at what those teams actually did, I'm going to notice that COVID hit everybody. Everybody. It wasn't a normal year. It's something you completely throw out. Andrew Pardo says Kent State an awful beat. Well, look, I think we have to decipher the difference between a bad beat and a just bad bet. Was it a bad beat? I mean, they were down at the end of the third quarter. They were down 27-3. I mean, was it I don't know. I don't know what was bad beat about it. So it wasn't a bad beat because they kicked a field goal and didn't make it and lost. That wasn't a bad beat. They were down 27-3 at one point. Their offense was dreadful. So, again, I don't think it was an awful beat, Andrew. No offense. We need tough love. I need it sometimes too. It just wasn't a good bet. Would I have made it, though? Probably. I mean, I like Kent State. I mean, if I'm going to get 29 points or whatever, yeah, I'm going to lean. And then, look, I think when we look at stuff, we say, well, it was a bad beat because they should have covered or whatever. And, again, I didn't watch the game, but I'm looking at it and saying, again, it was 27-3 at one point. I guess in further inspection, maybe they had some opportunities to convert and they didn't. But, yeah, look, it comes down to a college kicker. That always sucks, right? By the way, I want to get to some other things here. Rough beat if you had Kentucky and UL Monroe under 54. Keep in mind, should have stayed under. Kentucky scores with like 50 seconds to go. Absolutely brutal. You're hoping Stoops sits on it, kneels it. Didn't happen. They scored. You lose. I saw David DeMann, a guy I really like and respect. He was on that. I definitely lean that way. That was a rough one. Couple of points I want to make as well. UConn loses yesterday by double digits to Holy Cross. It's hard to discuss how bad UConn is. I think, I'll be honest, after yesterday, UConn is the worst team in the country. I thought it was New Mexico State. I thought they played okay, frankly. UConn is dreadful. They're not going to win a game this year. It's not going to happen. Even UMass will probably beat UConn. Man, UConn is bad. Holy hell. Holy hell. Couple of big dogs that won yesterday. Shout out to Eastern Tennessee State. That's a big win over Vanderbilt. They win as almost 10-1 dogs. The biggest dog to win yesterday, Montana. They win at almost 11-1 over Washington. How about that? Big win. Also, we mentioned Northern Illinois. Another big win yesterday, Utah State. We saw a lot of teams yesterday that shouldn't be large favorites that were large favorites, i.e. Georgia Tech, which I bet, Washington, Vanderbilt, teams that just really shouldn't be that big a favorite that were. Another team I saw yesterday that is absolutely awful that we need to jot down. I've already said I know this because I don't need to have people tell me anything. Temple. This team is horrific. Really fucking bad. I thought they were bad, but they are absolutely dreadful. Horrific. You lose 61-14 to Rutgers. Look, I know Rutgers is solid, but 61. Minchia. You give up 61 to Cincinnati, okay. 61 to Rutgers. Kufai. That's what the Italians would say. Kufai. How do you make that? How does that happen? Wow. 61-14. Jot that one down. Dwayne Mathis, maybe one of the worst quarterbacks in the country. The Georgia Tech transfer to Temple. One of the worst hires in the history of college football was Rod Carey. It just signals you do not want to win. You want to be average to poor. And in this case, you're fucking poor. Temple, who has made some pretty good hires in college football, dreadful. Yikes. I would fire Rod Carey today. And look, they won't because they have no balls. But you go up 61 to Rutgers? Yeah, terrible. Oregon was suspect. They were. Anthony Brown didn't look great. They got out of there with a win, which is what matters. But, look, Fresno's a good football team. They won. That's all that matters. Fresno's good. I don't really knock them that much for it, especially with a new quarterback. They found a way to get the job done, which is what matters. They didn't lose. You know who was dreadful yesterday? Clemson. What was that? What the hell was that from Clemson? Minchia. That was terrible. Yikes. I got to tell you, I didn't watch that game. I called Ryan this morning, my boy Ryan, who's out. He went to Michigan's game yesterday. He's driving home. I called him. I said, this Georgia game, that's a typo? He said, no, it was that bad. What the hell was that? Look, I know Georgia's good, but they didn't look any better either. Let's just be frank. And then you see what Alabama did, and you say, whoa, is this even close? Oklahoma almost loses yesterday? The Tulane? Alabama, does anything ever go wrong for that fucking team? Ever. There is no team that gets more than them. Nothing ever goes wrong with Alabama, ever. They never have injuries. Nothing ever goes bad. They are living with a four-leaf clover. As far as luck, let's be honest, they're very good. But nothing ever goes wrong for Alabama, ever. Crazy. Wow. That was ugly from Clemson. Well, it was ugly from Georgia, to be frank, as well. Wow. One final thing I wanted to mention. How many times do I have to tell you people and anybody that watches this, stop betting Hawaii. Stop doing it. We heard all week last week how great Hawaii is at home against the spread. Not true. They're not good against the spread. They're absolutely dreadful. The biggest myth in college football is this Hawaii nonsense. You got dopey idiots in fucking, gotta go Hawaii. Play in Portland State. Guess what? They didn't cover last night. No surprise to anybody. Keep in mind, this is the one stat over the last 5 years that actually matters. None of the stats that you hear about over the last 5 years mean nougats. But this one does matter. Over the last 5 seasons, last 38 games at home, the Hawaii Golden Rainbows, or whatever the hell they're called, the Warriors, are 11-27 against the spread, the worst in America. And actually, over the last 5 seasons, the only team worse against the spread in general, home away, the second worst, you know who it is? Hawaii. The only team worse, UConn, the worst football program in the history of college football. Stop putting this shit out there. You've got complete imbeciles that know nothing about this stuff telling you, gotta bet Hawaii, go bet Hawaii. Shills. And you know what? You deserve to lose. Most of you degenerates out there that bet this nonsense, stop betting Hawaii. They're not any good. Hawaii was only good with June Jones as head coach. After they are trash. Look, when Rolovich was there, they were solid. I love betting their team totals, their overs. But to cover numbers? Fuck no. But again, one of those myths. You got to bet Hawaii. You know the only people that tell you to bet Hawaii every week? People that don't win. Got to bet the bailout game, 1 o'clock a.m. I don't even know 10 times 10 because I'm so drunk at the bar, but I got to bet it. Dreadful. Great advice. Never ask a bad team to win for you. Don't bet money on bad teams. Pretty simple. At least when you bet a good team and they lose, at the end of the day, you made the right decision. But sometimes you just make bad decisions, bad bets on bad teams. I did it yesterday. Georgia Tech. It was a bad bet. How about LSU? Well, listen, Brendan, at the end of the day, LSU will hold their head high because they did have a lot going on. And that UCLA is good, but you're right. Should have found a way. Scott Weaver, one of my longtime friends. I've known Scott Weaver probably. I'll tell you what about Scott. Scott has been around since the inception of Twitter. He's one of the originals. I remember Scott 10 years ago. That's how long him and I go back. Ugly loss for my Clemson Tigers. However, both Georgia and Clemson have top 5 defenses. Offenses need huge work. Yeah, it was ugly. I watched the condensed stuff this morning. There weren't many condensed highlights. Just because there wasn't anything special to watch in the game. Ugly. Hard to watch. But the good thing is Clemson will be right there. Is BYU a bet against this year? Probably a little overvalued. Didn't cover, I don't think, last night. New quarterback, new group coming in. Let's get into tonight's action. We've got Notre Dame, Florida State, and this is a big one of those don't bet bad numbers kind of things. Now, if you like Notre Dame, which the whole fucking world likes Notre Dame, you're getting the best number. I got to tell you though, I'm not running to lay 7 on the road with Notre Dame. And look, I'm going to tell you something that you probably won't hear much of today, but I'm going to tell you it. This is a carbon copy of what we saw in Vatech UNC, a carbon copy. You have a team with very little production coming back on offense. Keep in mind, 40% production returning for Notre Dame. They've got a new quarterback. They're on the road. And it's not exactly the same situation. But you have a pretty similar thing. You've got a team here with a lot of excitement in Florida State. Not a lot of people think they're very good, but I'll tell you right now, they have a pretty good quarterback. They're at home. That place is going to be rocking tonight, and they're a home dog. The difference here between Notre Dame and UNC is UNC actually has a good quarterback. I know he didn't play real well, but Sam Halligan's Jack Cohn. We saw what Jack Cohn could not get at Wisconsin, and after yesterday with Graham Mertz. Now again, people at Notre Dame will tell you that Jack Cohen's look great and whatever, but I'm not rushing to lay over a touchdown on the road with Jack Cohen. And the people that I think are on the level or above me agree with that. Sharps are hammering Florida State. This number was above double digits. It's been completely bet down. I guess I'll continue to say, though, I mean, if you're getting above 7.5 or above, it would be of interest to me. Now, who do I think they have a better chance to win with a quarterback? I want Jordan Travis in there. I thought he looked terrific last season. Milton, I like, but I'd rather have Travis. He gives them a better chance to win. And I'm not a big emotional guy, but in college football, I think it's the one place, college sports, it's the one place where emotion, the arena or venue you're in makes a difference. We saw that on Friday or whatever that was with Vatek. Tonight, Doe Campbell, Bobby Bowden passed a couple of weeks ago. That's huge, man. Gigantic. My worry, though, is Florida State's defense. But I'll tell you, I had some worry with Vatek's defense. I thought they were terrific. I like their coach. I like Norvell. I liked them at Memphis. I like them here. And they all of a sudden have a quarterback. So, and they got a couple good recruiting classes coming in. They're a team to obviously buy going forward. Tonight, I'm not running to lay 7+ on the road with the Irish. By the way, Notre Dame, one of the most overrated football programs in the history of football. When was the last time this team won anything? Oh, right, I'll tell you. I was like a child or before then. Brennan Linhart's talking about Patreon. Patreon is in the description of this video below. And if you want to join me starting Tuesday, I will be live on Patreon. Want to tell you about what we're doing Tuesday. First look at college football week 2. Wednesday, Donnie Wrightsed's going to join me. NFL futures. Thursday, we start taking a look at NFL week 1 lines. Betting ahead, getting ready for the season. Friday, we'll have some Serie A stuff back. Saturday, college football, week 1, 10 a.m., and then NFL Sunday. So we're going to have plenty of content next week, okay? I know a lot of you people will just say, I'm not paying for content. Well, okay. Again, this is definitely the last show I'm going to be doing on YouTube, at least for free for right now. We might have a game preview here or there, but again, we've got guests coming on. We've got people coming on. We've got me. The content is coming fast and furious. And very soon, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to start delving into college basketball. You're going to get previews on every conference in America, all 32, on Patreon. Okay? So when you look at the price, you're getting a lot of shit there. Okay? I got to make money. I got to earn something. I got to pay my people that are coming on to talk. So a lot coming down the road. Starting Tuesday, college football, first look. MMZ saying, NFL will allow 6 social justice messages on players' helmets. Who cares? Good for them. What does that matter? Does that really bother you, MZ? Bothers you that much that a player wants to stand up and try to make a difference with a pulpit he has? Shame on you. Shame on you. And if you don't watch, do you think the NFL gives a fuck? Get out of here with that. Look, I'm not woke, okay? There's a lot of stuff that I don't agree with. But you really have a problem because the NFL wants to use their huge following to hopefully make a difference in somebody's life out there. Shame on you. So what? Should the NFL just play football? That's what you think, right? And look, I'm not Democrat or Republican. I have common sense. I believe in everybody having a successful life, being able to do what they want. And there are people that are persecuted in this country for a lot of different things. And if you don't see that, I don't know what to tell you. I think your head's under the sand. You're not going to watch NFL because they have certain things on the helmet. Who cares? Good for them. Let them take a stand. Maybe it'll make a difference in somebody's life. Who cares? Got to spend money to make money. Exactly. Guys, listen, it's all about tools of the trade. Tomorrow night, Ole Miss, I played 8.5. Bet it already. No issue. It's moved up to 10.5. So there you go. I guess for me, I guess there's not a lot to not like about Ole Miss. I just think on that turf, I know what they're capable of. I think they could put up 55. No problem. I think Louisville, it's another checked out season. I mean that. I don't trust Malik Cunningham. I don't trust him to move the football. I don't think he has any shot at keeping up with Ole Miss. Because at the end of the day, I know Louisville can't stop Ole Miss. On that turf, come on. Not worried about it. People say, what about Ole Miss's defense? Well, true. It's not great, but it's better than Louisville's. And I know the offense is better. This isn't difficult for me. Obviously, the money agrees with me. It's moved up to 10.5. I love the number I have. Do I care about Lane Kiffin not being? No, couldn't care less. They have capable people that'll be in control. It's COVID. It is what it is. Nothing you can do. You need Lane Kiffin. So what, you think Ole Miss's offense is just going to hit a brick wall because Lane's not over there? Look, Lane's a good coach. You don't think he's going to talk to them before the game? What if he got thrown out of the game? Which could happen. It's a one-off. Doesn't mean much to me. And I got the best number, so at any rate. Do I have any thoughts on Jackson State, FAMU? No, I don't. I got too much to look at with FBS, soccer, NFL, I know a little bit when an FBS plays an FCS, but I'm not going into FCS. Thanks, Steve. Dexter Rojas says you need Lane Kiffin on the field. Do you? Really? Is Ole Miss's offense just going to hit the wall because Lane's not going to be there? Josh Anderson says Levy will play even faster with the offense than Kiffin. That's what you like to see. All right, guys, what we'll do, we'll take some of your questions. Really, whatever you want, you can ask. Now is your opportunity. Thoughts on Dallas Goedert or the Eagles tight end? Goedert or Ertz lead the way? Well, I think Goddard's going to lead the way, but I'll tell you, they're pretty happy with where they are with Ertz. There was a lot of off-the-field strife with them and him. Seems like everything's good to go. They need him in this offense. And I'll tell you this now. Coming into the season, he is still their best option. They're really strong at tight end. Two really good tight ends. They want to play in that 12 personnel. Zach Ertz is going to be an integral part. He wanted to know that he means something to them. I don't know if they did a good job of proving that. Look, I'm not the biggest Ertz guy personally. I think he's a little corny, frankly. But he's a good player. And he's a great player for this team. And I'll tell you right now, I'm a lot happier having him around. Because at this hour, it doesn't look like they're going to go out and get a veteran. He is the veteran on this team offensively. So, whether it's Smith, Rager, Goddard, Quez Watkins, this team needs to perform at those positions, okay? Because they just don't have much depth. They don't have any veterans. I would have loved to have seen them to go out and make one last veteran move. Getting a Keenan Cole or a guy like that to come in here. I think it would have helped a lot. If you can grab 40 catches out of one of those guys, that's big. Arcega-Whiteside, who they think is good, isn't giving you anything on offense. You got rid of Fulgham. You got rid of Hightower. There's not a lot of depth to this team. So you need Ertz. 12 personnel is going to be big. I think Goddard's still the guy, but Ertz is going to be right there with him. Ole Miss defense will be better. Otis Reese is a huge difference maker. Yeah, look, they're not going to be the Landshark defense from a couple of years ago, but they're going to be dynamic. I know you'll cover this Thursday, but any week one lines popping out to you at the moment? Plenty. We'll get to them. We'll probably talk about it Tuesday as well with Donnie Rightside. We'll talk about season futures. You want to make sure you join us Tuesday. With week one, there's going to be plenty of NFL stuff coming out. All right. What else do we have here? Yeah, this guy's just talking nonsense. I don't know. I have no idea who wins between little dogs and me. I don't know. I don't think about that kind of shit. This guy has no personality. He doesn't think. I just don't care. Look, to be frank, those little dogs, those little yap dogs, they're tough. That's one thing I'll give them. They might not. You might be able to kick them and get them the hell out of here, but they're tough. I have no problem. I don't look at whether it's a dog or a person. I don't look at anybody on how big they are. That whole thing, the bigger you are, the badder you are, that's bullshit. Some of the biggest gangsters in history were frail, small. It's all about power. It's all about up here. As I keep saying, a warrior's deadliest trait is his mind. Doesn't matter how big you are. Anybody that says, oh, this guy's too big, that don't matter. Whether it's a chihuahua or a man. It's all about the heart, the mind of somebody. Time to grab the ribs off the smoker. Well, enjoy, man. Have a great day. Okay, guys, I want to discuss something. The content that I'm putting out on Patreon, it's all YouTube. It's this show, except it's blocked. It's not going to be public like it is now. You can watch it over. If you can't catch it live, you can watch it over. It's all archived. It's just you getting Patreon allows you to watch it. You can watch it if it goes live at 5 and you can't catch it, you can watch it later. That's a big question I'm getting. Yeah, you can watch it whenever. It's literally just, it allows me to do shows on my YouTube channel that's blocked content. And the only way you get in is if you pony up. So tonight, Notre Dame, Florida State, I definitely lean FSU. I wouldn't be running to lay 7.5 on the road with Notre Dame, is my opinion. Do I have any plans for Labor Day? Yeah, I'm going to see my family tomorrow. So my parents own they own a couple of businesses, and they're having a little kind of get together for some of their employees and for me and stuff. So and my brother. So by the way, Macedonia is going to win. Another winner for the boy, big man on campus. Macedonia draw no bet plus 105. Chalk it up. They're up 2-0. 77th minute. So there you go. Another winner for you. But the big man doesn't ever win. Shut up. Who gives you that kind of shit? Me. Macedonia. Bisir Bolkanski. That's what we do. Jeff, you have great content. Not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight and the dog. Exactly. Bingo. Thank you, Nick. Don Carlo Gambino was a small guy. You're damn right he was. You guys ever hear of Tommy Patera? Tommy Patera was a little guy. Had a squeaky voice. Was one of the biggest killers in the history of the mob. Doesn't matter how big you are. You know what they have? Guns. It's all about the mind. Yeah, Lapper Lamunda. That actually turned out to be good content. Like, good point. Good point. But yeah, you have to look deeper into it. It's all about the meaning, right? The Chihuahua is your tough guy. The guy that has some heart. Greg Zerwinski. You helped me buy my son some J's week 1. Oh, that's great. Look at your son. Oh, shout out to him. God bless you, man. God bless him. That's great. I wish I had a son someday. That would be my greatest gift. Don't know if I'll ever have one, but shout out to you. Make sure you give your son everything. That's great. Okay, well, that's that. Not a lot to talk about from a game standpoint. Quickly, looks like we have a goal. Uh-oh, not so fast. Oh, no. Dreadful. Dreadful stuff for the Macedonian keeper. Yikes. What was that? So it's not over yet. Iceland has just scored. Yikes. What is that? That goalie, dreadful stuff. Holy hell. Oh, no. Don't tell me I jinxed myself. Oh, no. I don't usually do that. All right. Iceland has scored. It's 2-1. But there's a goal check. Was he off? We'll see. The goalie, a goal might have been offsides. I think it's good, but we'll see. He may have been off. He's off. Okay, they're checking the goal. May not count. May not count. I think he was offside. Please say no. No goal. Come on. They're still looking at it. Let's show a replay, ESPN. Fucking hell. Still waiting here. Iceland doesn't look happy, so could be wrong. Fucking hell. All right, we're going to hang on here until we figure this out. We'll see. I get a feeling it's going to stand just because it's always going to be fucking – it's always something. Does the goal stand or what? I mean, fucking hell. Come on, ref. Fucking hell. Iceland's booing. That's not great. Or they're just not happy it's taken so long. All right, here we go. Okay, it's goal. Fucking hell. All right, so Macedonia is going to have to hang here. This isn't great. We got screwed. Yeah, I might have jinxed myself. Okay, I'm out of here. See you all later. Go check me out on Patreon. Link is in the description below. We start that on Tuesday. Have a great Labor Day. I'm on Ole Miss -8.5. Bet it weeks ago. Let's get it. Let's have a great day. Bye-bye.